Alright, the stream is live, and I can't wait to find out what I forgot to do. I know it's something. I just don't know what. All the discords. Alright, I think that should be good. Chord's getting a little weird. That's a very purple Triforce in the background there. Very, what's the phrase? Very contrasting. It's like the modern day version of Where's Waldo. Except he's super easy to find. And the goal is to actually not find where Waldo is. Alright, we are playing as... Bowsette. I don't think I've played this right before. I think there's like a couple of variations on it too, if I remember right. There's like this version, then there's like the regular... I'm not sure how to really phrase it otherwise, but yeah. Where I think the outfit is kind of more like Bowser shell colored, maybe? I don't actually remember. I'm probably talking out of my ass. But anyway. So we should be good. I did all the discords. Alright, yeah. Let's go ahead and just get to getting. Good. Okay, we got open mode. Friggin' arrows. Uh-oh, we got Randomizer. We have a chance of freebies. Just a heart. Oh god, why do you have to... Okay. Can I debate you? Debate complete. Okay. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to get your bonus item, I don't think. Yeah, no. Alright. We at least have the tier 1. Ooh! Okay, that's actually pretty good. It takes 3 bushes? That's a weird number. That's money. Okay. Do not need. Ooh, just barely dodged. I am ninja. Ooh, money. Yeah, after saying the ninja line, it reminds me of the old YouTube channel of Ask a Ninja. I wonder how that guy's doing. Not necessarily every episode was great that they did, but it was nice and entertaining. Yeah, bombs. Alright, so we got a decent start here. Got plenty of money for a bottle vendor. We got plenty of bombs for the for the intro, I guess I should call it. Money, shovel. Okay. So it gives us a reason not to save and quit after the maze. Not much else going on yet, though. I'm getting kind of like a standard C type vibe from this so far. Like it's gonna be like 6 or 7 crystals for required Ganon. Health is good, especially Randomizer. Ooh, glove. Okay. So we can get to back of escape with that. I think it's basically all we can really do with it right now. Oh, compasses are shuffled. I do not need compasses. At least not yet. If it winds up being door rounder for like the 4th week in a row, then maybe I'll come back and buy it. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, at least you're stuck over there. Oh, nice. Oh, you even got me a refund. Sweet. Oh, that means when I do the mini Moldorm cave, I can actually get a refund in it from whichever you bought my throw. That'll be nice. Oh, God. We have big key shuffle. Seed quality has decreased by 33%. I could turn that fish in. Okay, so shops do not appear to be randomized in any way, shape, or form. I'm gonna turn the... because I think the fish is the little bit of everything reward. Where you get, like, magic, you get some bombs, some arrows, a heart, and something else. Yeah, it's the full set. Which is particularly nice for the magic refill. There's not a lot of really, like, quick ways to get magic, so it's good to know that's an option. Yeah, just bombs. We have not come along much vital stuff yet, really. I mean, because we're here, it doesn't look like we have any shop sanity going on, but we could have lucked out and, well, yeah, I think it's because the Kakariko shop was 100% vanilla, not just partially, it was completely vanilla. But I don't know if it's still possible for like a random item to get mixed in there somehow, without necessarily the contents being shuffled. It's been a while since I've looked at how shop sanity works, so it could be a thing, it couldn't be. I just don't know yet. Oh god, maps are shuffled too. Okay, so hopefully small keys aren't shuffled. Because for some dungeons I can deal without big key. Things aren't stuck in without small key though. Oh, hi. That was weird. More maps. Yeah, the thing that sucks about having map shuffle on is that we actually can't easily tell what dungeon's going to be what. Yeah, when I get to Sahasrahla, I'm definitely checking to see where Green Pendant is. And then if it actually comes to that, checking that the bomb hut to find out where the 2 red crystals are. Okay, another big key. We already have the Eastern. Now we have Skull Woods. I'm still not yet convinced that this is going to be to our benefit. Oh, what enemies are going to be here, actually? Okay, mostly vanilla. I can definitely work with this. Okay, I guess not a refill on everyone, but okay. No, I'll still take the 1 refund. Better than nothing. Good ether. Bombos. I would have laughed if all 3 medallions were inside Bomb or Moldorm Cave. Yeah, still a lot of questions as to what the seed entails so far. I'm kind of afraid to try to do Hobo. Because it's always a very sketchy thing to try to do when you have Randomizer going on. This area should theoretically be easier. And this is why I say theoretically. Come on. Get yourself stuck. That is not getting yourself stuck. Okay, I made it work. Very pink cave. With just bombs. Okay, so we'll try to get to Hobo. We don't have Moon Pearl or any way to fake Flipper / Water Walk. So yeah, we'll probably not be doing Zora yet. Oh god. I don't know why I thought that was gonna go counterclockwise. I will. Oh god. I will perfect that setup one day. Okay, there is an anti-fairy which we can completely predict where it goes, so not too worried about. Oh, and it bounces the other way. Okay. Oh. Okay, we finally have something on Hylia that's actually like desirable. I guess I'll try to remember that's there whenever we get Mirror, Dark World Access, and Flippers. Okay, so Hobo is entirely reasonable this time. That is good to know. Meh. Okay, now we're gonna head to Eastern. The only unfortunate thing about this sprite is that it doesn't look like she has a shell on her back. It looks just like a green backpack. Which I guess it is kind of hard to get all that level of detail in what's basically like a 2x3 sprite pattern. But still. What did you drop again? Okay, I'll gladly take the heart. I will take that in a heartbeat. Haha. Yes, I am ashamed of myself for that. Okay, nothing of value. Desert is green pendant. Oh god, that thing can do like 4 hearts of damage to me. Okay, I barely slipped through. No, you don't. I don't need hearts anymore. Unless he's not part of the heart pack. Yeah, it's not really worth the time to check right now, because I couldn't really use much other resources anyway. Okay, finally, no Dorando. I mean, Dorando is fun and all, especially in, like, the concept behind it. But it's nice to do it just as an occasional thing, not like a constant. I actually know what to expect. Flippers! Okay, that puts everything in Zora into logic now. Ow. And we actually can get to Zora right now, because we have the glove to get through the normal route, heading north of here. We don't have any other real means of getting there. Actually, I suppose one thing I Actually, I have a couple ideas. Okay, that's first of 3 items. Actually, no, first of 5, maybe 6 items. Depending on whether or not the, Actually, no, there are no small keys. So yeah, everything here is gonna be an item. There is no reason to skip any chests. Oh, come on. Okay, more maps. Joke hint. Hey, that's a vanilla enemy. Oh, hello. That is technically our first weapon. Or at least first practical weapon. This is a terrible idea. Especially an Randomizer. Oh god, something just tried to murder me. Okay, so as long as we can get this chest, we'll be fine. Oh god, why? Oh, I had no chance. So, yeah, okay, so we have to remember that chest is still open. Yeah, I don't want to be back here right now. Let's go ahead and get the back of escape. I'm not gonna worry about health, because I'm gonna be probably saving and quitting back out anyway. Part of me does want to go try to get more money after this with Houlihan, but we don't... Excuse? But yeah, we don't really need the money. Oh god! I forgot about Randomizer again. Okay, now we definitely don't need the money. Because that one pickup was worth more than what Houlihan Room is worth. Yeah, we're just gonna do this part like normal. Actually, we could alternatively go do Hyrule Castle. Oh my god, the money. Yeah, let's get Hyrule Castle, actually. Also, see if we can get a free bomb. Yeah, free bomb. So, we can... I'm gonna wait for sword. Or something better. Well, actually, no. So, in rooms where there's something semi-important for, like, a small enemy to defeat, it's usually an easy enemy. Like, usually something from Light World, or one of those floor shadows that we just got bodied by. And those are fairly... I'm blanking on the phrase. But yeah, they're actually reasonable to go up against. Sword! Okay, the question now is this a vanilla sword seed? Or is that just so happen to be completely randomly placed in a vanilla location? But yeah, that does definitely make me glad I picked or came this way, though. Because now it doesn't even matter what, like, item we have. We have something to attack with. Yeah, because if it's vanilla swords, we'll probably be getting at least Master Sword. At least depending on what the dungeon requirements are. Or Ganon requirements, I should say. If it's a terrible seed, maybe we actually will get Butter Sword. Because the last check I want to do, if I don't absolutely have to, would be Master Sword Pedestal. Okay, small keys of vanilla. So we can at least do most of our progression in dungeons without too much issue. And yeah, for dungeons like Skull Woods, which you do have a big key for, it is only useful for getting the big chest. It does not block the boss. And yeah, like this. Easy enemy. Also easy enemy. Moon Pearl. Alright, so we are one item away from Dark World access. Either another glove or a hammer. Hammer would be preferable, especially in the vanilla sword seed, because it's going to take a while for us to actually get access to tempered. And this should also be an easy enemy right here. First time I've seen that enemy as a easily killable enemy. Okay, we have bottle. I don't want to do Dark Cross yet. Let's go ahead and check out Zora. We'll get the health. We can also double check the shop on the way to make sure we have like less signs of shop sanity. All right, 1 out of 2 bomb checks. That's not bad. That's perfectly to odds. Okay, it doesn't look like we have any kind of shop sanity going on. Oh, I want that armor now. Do my usual setup. Yeah, it gives you just enough iframes to be able to dodge like almost anything that might come across your path in that section. Oh, that's Dark World. Okay, so now we can go through basically Kakariko into Dark World. It does kind of suck that that's our only Dark World access right now. I guess technically we could go to Dark World Death Mountain if I really, really wanted to. Actually, no, we can't, because that would be on the east side Death Mountain. We don't have access to the east side yet. Oh, I thought I could dodge that. Alright, so once we get this, I need to figure out where I'm going to go. I don't necessarily want to do Dark World yet, but I might just have to. He's going to tell me what he has, at least. You know what? We have enough money. I'll buy the heart. Oh, hi. Game. Game. There we go. Yeah, we have enough money, and in Randomizer, I'll buy a full heart for 500. Okay, so where do I choose to go? I think I do have to go to Dark World. Yeah, we've already done Hyrule, we've done Zora, we've done Eastern. Yeah. Not much else in logic I can do at the moment. Alright, we do have a couple maps. Okay, Red Crystal for Swamp, and then Crystal Mire. Yeah, Crystal Mire. So we already kind of got rid of the point, or half of the point of checking Bomb Shop. Yeah, we don't have Fire Ride yet. You stay away. Yeah, we can't get to the back. Oh god, why? And I think the Wall Masters are always still in their vanilla rooms. Yeah, because I don't think they technically count as a sprite against, like, the room limits. Because they're usually off-screen. I have no idea if that's the actual explanation. That's just what makes sense. Goddamn, to me. There we go. Look at that. I'm actually not even going to bother picking up the pod small key. We can save a little bit of time that way. Because we have everything we need to be able to get through the entirety of the front. So that is a little bit of a time save. I need to be especially careful around you now, because you will... Okay. Yeah, because those guys, as I mentioned before, do 4 hearts of damage when they walk right into you. It's actually better to be hit by the bomb than just by their pecs. Oh, to be... One of these days... Oh, I'm dead. I was gonna say, one of these days, I'll remember that, enemy randomizer is a thing. Especially a thing that is happening at this very instant. Oh, guys, there's gotta be a chain jump, too. Okay, I still got bodied by that. That is unfortunate placing. Good lord. Oh, that was a weird layback. Mirror. Okay. So if we had book, we could actually go and check what's on the Master pedestal. Oh, there's our last medallion. Okay. So TR and Meyer accesses are guaranteed. The desire, however, is not guaranteed. And is in fact very unlikely. Got him. We know the big keys are randomized, so we're probably not gonna... Yeah. Okay, mirror was a big find. Skull Wood sucks. My god. Let's see what's on Bumper Cave. We shouldn't have to check the shops. Oh, we got a big key up there. That's probably going to be required. Yeah, we probably don't need to check the shops, but I want to at least try to get some health. Just since you're gouging my price, I'll gouge you with a B. Yeah, at this point I'm just going to assume that the entire seat is non-shop standee, so we can save a little bit of time by, god damn it, not checking anything else. Although actually, with this combination of items, we can get that armor upgraded on Lake Hylia. So as soon as we get to that access to that area, we're going to be doing that. Oh, we can also do the full smith chain, which means we'll probably get our second sword. Which is even better. I actually might... I think I might do that before Thieves Town, actually. I want all the firepower I can get. Plus, we'll know for sure about the status of swords. One thing that will suck about this is that we're not going to be able to do hammer pegs right away. So if we have to come back later for it, we're going to be spending like extra screen transitions to get everything done, but... that's a risk I'm currently willing to take. Well, it's a good thing I don't need the money. Okay, so we don't have powder or mushrooms, so we can't do any glitches with the magic bat. Let's go, Slippy. let's get you back to your family. Okay, it is definitely vanilla swords. Okay, so we'll go ahead and grab the pink chest, because there's really no point not to. Grab that, we'll bring it over to... Damn it. To kind of sort of Thieves Town. Stupid ghosts. We'll set it down there for now. Because we're going to be going down that way when we leave Thieves Town for everything else anyway. I like how the actual random minor prize is more valuable than the actual check. Come on. Alright, let's see how this goes. And part of the thing is we don't even know yet if there's vanilla bosses or not. Also, we can only get the first 4 checks because we don't have the big key. Yeah, this will actually be fairly quick, I think. I was half expecting that to be the big key for Thieves Town. Just because of the silliness. Yeah, Hera Big Key is good, because that does give us access to basically the upper half without having to do the pot glitch. Oh, I got poofed. I turn into Reverse Bowsette. Okay, so that's everything here. Didn't pick up anything, like, substantial. There we go. But yeah, it's good to know that we have at least the front taken care of. So come on down, we'll do K45, do Forest Kid. We'll turn this into the dude. I mean, part of me wants to actually do Hype Cave first. But that'd be a decent chunk of time lost if it turns out to not have, like, the book or anything in Hype Cave. So then I have to go back and check, I guess we wouldn't have to, Hammer! Yes! Okay, now we can go back and do hammer pegs. I don't know if I want to do hammer pegs. We'll probably be back for Thieves Town later, so I'll hold off until then. Okay, so this does actually give us access to basically completely clear us. Oh wait, no, we don't have a hookshot yet. Never mind. Yeah, 'cause I'm not seeing any signs of pot shuffle, so we're not gonna have a small key and Swamp being in a different location. And we'd still need hookshot to be able to get across to, like, the back half of the dungeon anyway. Okay, just a piece of heart there. I mean, we could do 2 checks, but I don't think it's worth the time for just 2 checks. Now, granted, I've been burned by that thought before. Or, like, even in a non-like dungeon item shuffle, there's still something super important there in, like, the first check you can get when you go to down the stairs. That's not a bomb. That's a bomb. Map of Thieves Town. Okay, so we can figure out if that's actually needed or not. Another bottle. Oh, there's the other armor. Okay. Okay, so in the span of, like, a minute, we're gonna go from green mail to red mail. I approve. Actually, we do have full-on access to Ice Palace right now. I am pondering the possibilities. Do I want to enter... I think at the moment, no. Because I still want to be able to find out what the goal of the seed is. Get pod as well, yeah. We can always come back to Ice Palace later, too. It's not going to take that much time to get to. Yeah, we have to go this way. Actually, no, the Dark World version does have a little diving board post thing, whatever, up here, too. But, oh, well. We already came this way. Alright, so since we have no dungeons completed, but we still theoretically need bow for pod, yeah, we'll check Pyramid first. I kind of want to check Catfish too, but if we happen to get the hook shot from... I don't need that. If we happen to get a hook shot from pod, that would actually be like a longer walk to and from the northern section of Dark World that I don't want to necessarily deal with. Six crystals, okay. So yeah, this is definitely a longer, quote-unquote, standard style seed. What we got here? Lantern! I want lantern. Eve lantern. Okay, so dark rooms are no longer a thing. Let's do it. Just on the super off low, like 0.00x percentage chance of this being the right play. And one last check for shop sanity. Yeah, there's no shop shuffle of any kind. Ow, that was too early. Oh god, okay. And of course, so that particular enemy has basically like a super like subatomic link between the bird in the bird in Light World and I think it's like the pterodactyl thing in Dark World. They're technically the same enemy. They do more damage in Dark World than they do Light World. So even though that looked like a bird, it was actually a pterodactyl. Which, depending on your context, is a distinction without a difference, but still. I would like Sanctuary Heart, please. I'll take half magic. I will take half magic any day. And in fact, that would actually make traversal through Ice Palace a little bit easier. So now I don't have to worry about magic as much. Now it's still gonna suck because I don't have a really good way to attack the snow puffs once I get to that stage. But it's at least better than nothing. Also, the same case with those rats and the crickets. Again, same enemy. They do more damage in Dark World than they do Light World, regardless of the sprite. The question is, will I survive my way to the entrance? Thus far, the answer is yes. We will see how long that lasts. And Green Fountain was in desert, so we're not going to be able to get to that for like a long while, from the looks of things. Okay, easy dodges. As well as easy lag. Oh god. Okay. They did minimal damage. Yeah, if you're in the middle of a cutscene like that and an enemy walks into you, you will take the damage. Not immediately, but eventually. You will get hit. Okay, so we don't have a bow, so we can't go through the right side. And we don't have a potion, right? Yeah, we don't have any potions. Which I should have bought a potion while I was near the Dark World potion shop. Since I knew I was coming back this way anyway. Oh well. It's not too unreasonable to come back later for that. Oh dear. Okay, made that work. How's this gonna go now? We don't have the key for... God damn it. Why is that always a spike? I'm dead. Yep. Why is that always a friggin' spike? Okay, let's try that again. So I know I can get past her as long as I don't get, like, completely bodied beforehand. I'm trying to think of where I would go after this. That's the not easy to figure out solution. So we're full up on bombs with this. Okay. We're good. There's just a little bit of panicking as a treat. Yay, recovery. Ah, crap, they're not killable. I didn't mean to open that. Okay, so we did need that cape. At least that's good to know. Okay, so if we... I don't like this. Okay. So unfortunately, by opening that door accidentally means I don't get the two items that are inside the dark room. So I'll jump down and get the chest that's below here. And unless that's a small... I think even if it is a small key, I think I'll probably just bail. I think it has to be a small key. Yeah, we'll check what's on the platform up there. Because as it is, pretty much all of this is in logic right now. Except for the checks that are locked behind Bo. The ones behind Bo... I get the feeling this is just gonna be another small key. And I'll have wasted my time. Oh! Big key of... That's not as helpful as I want it to be. Actually, maybe... Because we can do most of... We can do most of Swamp. I'm gonna say yes, we do Swamp now. We're not gonna be able to full clear it, but we can get a lot of it. Yeah, I think it's gonna be like 3 chests and the boss that we can't get. But that'll still be a good, like, 9... Oh. Okay, so there's 6 items normally. That includes 1 small key, 1 map, 1 compass, and 1 big key. 3 of those are replaced with items. Now hold off. I was debating whether or not I want to get some potions. But I'm not sure if I necessarily want to spend the money and or time to get them right now. Because one of those I would probably use to get into the right side of Pod. And the other one I would actually use as like possible health restoration for the Ice Palace boss. Right. We gotta do this. Okay, so one thing as well is that now that we have Hammer, we actually do have access to everything in Death Mountain. Including Turtle Rock. We can't beat Turtle Rock, but we have access to get into it. Okay, only one actual enemy. Ah, didn't make it. Alright. Ah, damn it. I got you baited. Oh, hell yeah. Even if it winds up not being progression, that's still a good find. Which is, makes things so much easier and faster. I was about to get ready my hook shot, but then I realized, oh yeah, I don't have hook shot. I am sad. Big key of thief sound. Okay, we can beat that dungeon now. Ow. How did that miss me? Oh, right, I didn't... Oh, actually, no. I can still do this, it's just not nearly as efficient or cool. I have to do this the vanilla way. Stupid vanilla. Also, the two chests in the back I have to get, like, individually, too. So I won't be able to hookshot across. Actually, speaking of hookshot... Okay. I'm not gonna turn down Mushroom. Mushroom is a very valid item. Go. Wait, I gotta re-hit the switch. Yeah, because regardless of hookshot or not, I do need that switch to be in that position to get the rightmost chest in the left side swamp. Ow. Okay, got some arrows. How did that not get... Ow. Please stop bodying me. Okay, so what am I going to do after this? There's no point in going to the Bombos tablet because we can't even get the item there, nor can we even see what the item is. I could try to go... Actually, I guess I could do the Ice Palace thing. That'd probably be the better idea because we can get most of, if not an entire dungeon cleared. Okay, yeah, I think we'll do Ice Palace. We will go back and get some potions, though, as a precaution. I mean, we do have red mail to deal with the Ice Palace boss, but yeah, Master Sword is still not the best weapon to be doing that fight with. Oh wait, there's a shop in Darkpool I could have done. Oh well. Yeah, this one's the same price. There was a lot of steps in that sequence I didn't have to do. You know what? Let's do it. Okay, I'll get the bomb upgrade. I'm not gonna bother with the air upgrades. Oh yeah, I have boots. I should be making use of this. The other thing that sucks about Bombos is that it takes like a good, what is it, like 8 seconds to go through its entire animation and such. It's kind of slow in that sense. Ow. Alright, let's see how this room goes. Actually, let's get this prepped ahead of time. Okay, not as bad as I was expecting. Okay. That almost looked like I knew what I was doing. Ow. Ow. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. I didn't want to use this early, but I kind of have to. Ow. Bye-bye sword beams. Bye-bye any semblance of skill. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. I ain't dealing with your crap. Yours neither. Yeah, we got more than the small keys now. The nether shield. We do not have the big key, unfortunately. I think I do want to go this way. Ow. Oh my god. There. Ow. Oh my god. This room sucks. This entire dungeon sucks. Mire. Interesting. Ooh, fairy. Yes. I did not realize there was a transforming thing there. Oh, we almost got through the room damageless. Alright, let's do this. We do have a red potion if necessary. Okay, vanilla boss so far. Okay, got one down, two down. Okay, that fight went better than it had any right to be. And it's pendant. Damn it. Okay, so on the odd chance that we get all three pendants before heading to Skull Woods, that will give us access to another sword at least. So from here, I could go back to Pod, but why? Yeah, let's start doing Death Mountain stuff, because we can actually do stuff there, like, entirely. It is 1,000,000,000% in logic. I am tired. Okay, we already knew the desert was the green pendant. This might not work with Randomizer, but we'll try it. Okay, worked beautifully. Oh my god, please. Yeah, just on account of I don't want to get hit during the cutscene. Okay, so now that's the Death Mountain save and quit exit, or save and quit point. Ow. Come on. No, I'm probably gonna take the heart piece. Not gonna lie. Even with red mail. And see, the thing is, that one is too much time to get to, even though it is a full heart. Whereas this piece is just literally on the way to get to where I need to go. Ugh. I would like to stop being tired, please. Okay, we need that. More than I want to admit, we need that. Actually, no, we don't necessarily need that. Or maybe we... Actually, yeah, so the fact that the small cube is outside of the basement means that there is going to be something at the basement. Which is unfortunate, but also true. Got him. I hope that works. Okay, good. Oh my god, I thought you were dead at the one master shot. I was wrong. Okay, yeah, we already got Quake, so that's not exactly a big revelation. Apparently, went right underneath that red long strider thing. Okay, can we get 2 out of 2 vanilla bosses? Going once. Going twice. Sold to vanilla bosses. Ah, damn. I could've, like, go earlier. Got him. Ooh, big key. For desert, okay. Another. So, literally every other dungeon is crystal of some kind. Okay, so that means if we do get to desert, we may as well... Wait, no, we don't have the big key. So if we get the big key for desert, then we may as well beat it so we can actually get our temperate sword at a bare minimum. What is up here first off? Don't really need maps for like anything anymore. Everything's pretty much just covered by the fact that we know everything's a crystal. I'm sorry, why are you in that particular spot? Actually, you know what? Yeah, as long as you're facing not the opposite direction of the Helmasaur, it doesn't matter what kind of attack you use, you can always damage it. Even if you're still technically attacking it from the front. Too bad it didn't have a bug net. Okay, that's more blue potion money if we absolutely need it. That's not the right doorway. Just a quadruple check. But yeah, there is no shot sanity. Bum bum. Bum bum. Yeah, that thing got a lot more distance than I was expecting it to. Nothing valuable. The one problem that we do have to deal with is the fact that we can only get one item from Hookshot Cave right now. And that's with using a bomb jump, which will basically make us lose 2 hearts in theoretical preparation for going to, I mean, I guess we could, You know what, let's make bad decisions. Let's do as much as we... Yeah, this still works out mostly. So we'll go through all of Turtle Rock that we can, and there's gonna be a lot of checks in here. Okay, so the 4 small keys are still gonna be in here. And there's gonna be 2 early actually, maybe this isn't the right play. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to get 2 of the early chests, which might prevent us from getting all the small keys that we need. Well, I suppose we only need 3 total to get to Laser Bridge. And that's my main goal. So then we can get the vast majority of the items in this dungeon. This menu sucks. So yeah, unless this chest right here is Fire Rod, we're gonna be kinda screwed. Oh god, oh god. Oh yeah, I have boots. Actually, let myself just let that one out. See if that maybe helps. Doesn't feel like it did. Okay, we got sidetracked a lot faster than I expected. So that sucks. So there is a chance that Ganis Tower is a 0 crystal requirement. Wait, hold on. I beat 2 dungeons. Oh no, I haven't done the Tower Hair yet. No, I did. I tried. Wait. Tracker's not updating. Come on, tracker. There you go. Nope, that's 0. Well. That actually kind of sucks. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. Because we do have the magic cape. And have magic, so we can... Even with our loss of, or not full magic, we can still easily make this. Then we can boots. There we go. $20. Alright. What now? I mean, okay, we can do Bonk Rocks. We can do Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb. We've already done Zora. We've already done Catfish. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where, like, as soon as I get access to Desert, I actually want to do it just so we can get Tempered Sword. We still don't know what the other dungeon that's the red crystal is yet either, so we don't know if we'll have access, like, easy access Pyramid Fairy. What else can I... Because we already got Sick Kid. Nothing else here to get, except for Bonk Rocks. No Fire Rod, so we still can't get into the back of Skull Woods. Yes. Okay, we got the big key for Pod. Which doesn't make the biggest difference yet. Although we can do the hammer jump. Okay, so we can still... Stop hitting me. So we can still go this route. We can get Graveyard Legend and King's Tomb, like I mentioned. We can head back over to Pod. And we can get basically the rest of the small checks. Okay, so I guess the other thing I need to consider is which dungeon can I skip for crystals? Which dungeon do I want to skip? Because at that point, we actually almost don't want to skip Turtle Rock just because of how many possible items there are there currently. Do I need bow for 2 dungeons? So bow is basically hard requirement. Hookshot is a soft requirement. I should be able to do all of Turtle Rock at this point. Which should probably be my first sign, actually. Yeah, we'll take another. But it's also kind of hard, well... I could talk myself into doing, like, literally 8 different paths right now. Not a single one of them sounds any better than the other. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to beat Pod, but we can get everything except the boss for there, so let's get that mostly cleared out. We're missing the big chest for Ice Palace. We're missing the big key for the back of Swamp. Ugh. So yeah, then we need either book or flute to get access to Desert. We also need flute for access to Mire, which is also going to be required. I still have... Yeah, I got a potion. Ow. Oh, wait. So now I need to... Where is it? There it is. Right, I don't need to do that in Randomizer. I was done. Okay. I wasted my red potion. Ow. I need bombs. Oh no, I already opened this up earlier. Okay, so now we can legitimately get to the back of the, or, yeah, get to the dark room part of the section. Okay, that's all the small keys in this dungeon. So everything else will be an item. Just gotta move this, or switch this. Lay this down. We'll go ahead and do the hammer jump, why not? Maybe the torture of having to get to that spike. Yeah, I'll just deal with it. Come on. There we go. Yeah, it's not the fast strat, but I'll just take what I can get at this point. So 2 checks in here, and then we can mirror out. Map of this dungeon, really, game. That's how you're gonna do me. Okay, that's Swamp Palace. And eventually Hookshot Cave when we get back up there. Not to mention quicker Dark Wolf, or quicker access to Dark Wolf Death Mountain. Plus we can actually stun things now. Now, the thing that sucks is I'm going to have to, again, open up the dam to get access to Swamp Palace, but at least this time we can fully clear the dungeon and get it removed from our thoughts. Ugh. Trying to hold that one in, but it failed. Scooty booty. Yeah, I should have figured that would land right into me. Hopefully I do this without screwing up the first time, because I barely have any magic. Even with half magic, I barely have any. I was kind of hoping that'd be a magic, but oh well. Okay, so far so good. Yeah. Bow! Big key! GT! Ah! That's a very unfortunate fire snake. Oh my god, give me. Yes. There's this one. I'll take health. Okay, so now that we have Bow, we can actually finish up Pod and Eastern. This will be like my 4th trip into Pod, I swear. Yeah, we can get 2 dungeons done beat right away, which would be super nice. Plus, we can also get the last other check in Eastern as well. Oh, get back up here. Oh, he was discombobulated for a second. Yeah. God damn it. He's moving a lot faster than he's supposed to. Okay, I didn't mean to use that for iframes, but it kind of worked that way. I do have bow. I don't think bow works that way, actually. Okay, apparently regular arrows don't do, like, much damage to him. Yay, Bloopy. First crystal! Alright, so we already got ice. We don't have the big keys yet. We can still kind of forget about that for now. Back to pod. Let's do that in Eastern. Still can't do anything with Turtle Rock yet. Yeah, Turtle Rock and Meyer are still both dead. So is Desert. I can only think that maybe Thieves Town is the other answer that we need right now. Because we still have, I think, 3 or 4 items to pick up there. Yeah, whereas Pod is down to just 1 item. And I think Eastern might be down to 2. Yeah, Eastern will have 2 items. I did not move fast enough. Yeah. Oh god, why? Bully time. Yeah, bully. That kind of worked, actually. That's not one to press. Yeah, we're still 3 items from go mode. We still need both both ice and fire rod, and we need flute. Actually, I would just plain need flute. If we get book, that only gives us access to 1 dungeon, so we need flute regardless. I can do that. Ow. Stupid tentacle pouch thing. Stupid hammer hitbox. Yay, friendly fire. Not gonna lie, that room went fairly well. Oh god, why? Okay, how do I make you not a thing? Then, okay, that's how I make you not a thing. Alright. my god, please. Oh my god. Got him. Alright, then get ready for Eastern. Which unfortunately we have to go through basically all of Eastern. Because of the one last chest we have to get, but... There are worse fates. So where do we want to go after this? I think probably Thieves Town would be the best idea, because we can just clear that dungeon and hopefully maybe get loot or book from there. I think that'd be the best case scenario. I just was, that's actually a not bad opportunity for like a cane dash or cape dash. Then we don't have to worry about dodging the little cannonballs. I need to try to keep that in mind next time I go through there with those items. Do some science. Oh, you bastard. Zoomies. Yay for not getting bodied this time. I like how everything there's a mini Helmosaur. That wasn't even worth it. Game, I object. Nice, comes right down to me our first try. And it's a lot hard to tell which enemy is actually the one you want to go for when it's an Randomizer. Okay, that kind of worked. Boss time. Ah, damn. Went too far down. Hey, got a refund. Okay, so now we'll go back and do Thieves Town. If we can't get anything that we want from there, then we'll just head to Death Mountain. You know, it's actually possible that we never get access to Desert or Mire, which would be annoying. It's one of those things where if I'm going to get access to, well, if I have a chance of getting access to Master Pedestal and Vanilla Swords, I want to get that. And I don't know if it's going to even be possible if we can't get access to Desert. Yeah, because what else can we get down here? We already got... Oh, we can do a Magic Bat. And we could also try to go back to the potion shop and turn in the mushroom. Those are also possibilities. Yeah, we'll try to do bad after Thief Sound, just to make sure we're not missing, like, too much easy stuff. Unfortunately, without having the flute, there's not a good, quick way to check the mushroom. We'll probably be putting just that check on hold. Ow. Damn, I thought it was set up for it. Ooh, barely didn't get touched. Oh god. Okay. God, Pixel. This room sucks. Please get it away from me. I wish to have no involvement in this room. Oh, I didn't get the key. Overachiever. Oh my god. Okay, that could have gone a lot worse. Not what I wanted to have happen. Oh my god. Get out my... Oh my god. These are literally one of the worst. Not like specific enemies, not necessarily like NPCs, not characters, just the worst. Period. Full stop. Okay, that kind of worked actually. I kind of like that. I don't like that. Huh. I think that's a big jump in damage between Master Sword and Tempered on those guys. Okay, didn't need that. Ow. Got him. Okay, so check Magic Bat. I don't think there's anything else in that region that we're missing at this point. Check Bat. Then we'll go back to Death Mountain. See what we can get there. We still can't get Skull Woods either, which is the other annoying thing. Activate this here so we don't have to worry about lifting the blocks up. Say it with me, folks. Rule number 1 about Magic Bat. Pet the dog! Bombs. Alright. Death Mountain time. There's not much else I can think of that we can do right now. Next, what else? Because there's the 4 items in Hookshot Cave. What else can we done that I have not done? We can't do the tablets because we don't have book. We don't have access to Mire. We don't have access to Desert. We can't finish up Skull Woods. We literally can't go any further in Turtle Rock because we don't have Fire Rod. We full cleared every other dungeon otherwise. It's gotta be at Hookshot Cave. It can't not be. I guess we find Fire Rod here. Art piece. Money. Shield. Want to fire Rod, not fire Shield. Okay. So what then? Because I don't remember the floating island being anything useful. We got Spike Cave, so that's not going to control us this time. What am I missing? What am I missing? That's not helpful anymore. We have not full cleared Hera. We still have a check left there. There's still a check in the basement. Break time. Little stretch. What is this supposed to be? That's supposed to be like a Moldorm? I think it's a Moldorm. Actually, I don't need to hit that. For any reason. I do, however, need Lantern. No, that wasn't it. Okay. Mushroom. We're missing Mushroom. That frickin' mushroom. We've had that for ages, too. That's not where I wanted to go. I'm gonna guess behind mushroom is Fire Rod. Wait, there's also Dark Cross. Yeah, they're both about equal time to check. This one might be marginally faster, but not by a lot. Yeah, because we don't have access to Pyramid Fairy yet. So either Mire or Turtle Rock is the other red crystal. Fire Rod. Okay. So that's not the one I wanted to have access to. You know what? Let's do Dark Cross in the hopes. How do I want to do this? My brain is in pain from the strain. Okay, so we could try to go through Turtle Rock and kind of hope that Ice Rod is in there, as well as being able to get, like, everything else in that dungeon. Because I want to try to get to Skull Woods last. Well, no, I would... Actually, no, I would want Ice Rod to be unobtainable. That way I can do... Yeah, I want to not have Turtle Rock be my last crystal. Or, technically, to be my... You know what I mean. I don't want to have to do Turtle Rock. I want that to be the dungeon I can skip. And theoretically, if I can do that, and still have progression in there... I feel like the more words I say, the more I confuse... Oh, that's actually important. Because not only does that give us access to the big chest, that also gives us access to Laser Bridge. I am so freaking glad I checked there first. Come on. There. Alright, yeah, if this was a race, that could possibly be like a big play of the game. Other than, you know, me kind of sucking at routing like for like half of it. Yeah, because so long as Ice Rod is in like Ganon's Tower or something like that, that puts us in the best possibilities for like where items can be and what we can have up until that point. Yeah, I think the thing I want to see most in here is Flute. I want to see Flute, and I don't want to see Ice Rod. If we get that, then we're in a good position. I'm going to take the hit. Just because it's easier that way. We do have Fire Rod, so I do want to take this route. Oh, god damn it. Wait. That was kind of craptacular, but I made it work. Actually, we don't even need the cape here, because this is going to be a much easier room. Okay, I was suspecting that they would both be small keys. But apparently it was not to be. That's a lot of hits. Yeah, that's equivalent to 12 Fire Sword hits to take out those skull guys. Then this has to be another small key right here, then. There's no way we can get access to the rest of the dungeon otherwise. I didn't realize those things were harmless. Yeah, since we're full clearing the dungeon anyway, we'll go ahead and get Lava Chest. There's pretty much no reason not to. There's still gonna be the transformation thing. That's one of the things that doesn't get randomized under any circumstance. Okay, that was useless. But at least we know. We're gonna have a pretty high collection rate in this seed. I'm just starting to realize. Yeah, I'm guessing we might be in like the 170s even. So I'm doing everything I can to get like all the good stuff. I do not want mirror. I'm glad I realized what I was on before. I hate when it bounces off the wall like that. I want to know what causes that. That is bull crap. Not sure how I avoided that explosion there, but I'll take it. Come on, game. Help me, help you, help me, help you. To help me. Silvers! Okay. That is just as good as Tempered Sword. That might be like a slight exaggeration the more I think about it. Because there are some enemies that are just immune to arrows in general. Especially a lot of bosses, which actually seems kind of weird, but yeah. Ah, that Spike ASMR. Enjoy. Aw. No more ASMR. Okay, so I want there to be flute up here. That will validate everything I've done this entire seed. Come on, flute. Oh, that's... Oh god. I am screwing this up. Come on, flute, you can still do it. I believe in you. You're not flute. I did not mean to open up the map. Let's just do this. Oh, that is not what I wanted to see at all. So we can't do anything else with this dungeon. So yeah, the only dungeon we have access to then is Skull Woods. God damn it. Yeah, I do want to save and quit out here. I don't think there's anything else I'm missing at this point. I think I literally have to do Skull Woods. There would still be 2 items left, I think. Depending on how many small keys we picked up. I don't know how many small keys we've gotten. I'm pretty sure we got everything in Kakariko. Yeah, I guess the question is, what is our logical progression at this point? Is it flute or is it ice rod? I think everything here is gonna be small keys. Wait, we can check the big chest. At this point, no matter what our go mode is, whether it's Ice Rod or Flute, I'm just gonna... I forgot this was a thing. Can I still... No, I think that's the one that just, like, constantly moves right further. Or is it? You know what? Let's cancel this and we'll do the vanilla way of accessing the big chest. Because that is bullcrap. Oh god, the freaking things are everywhere. Oh god, nope. Pick that up because I can. Oh, game. Okay, that thing just like teleported. Okay, that didn't change anything. Although that might mean there's actually an item in the back of Skullwoods then. Next, I think we'd normally end with... I don't really know. I remember the small key logic enough to make a judgment on Skullwoods. Yeah, we'll do this now. I guess it doesn't take that long to check, especially with mirror. Okay. I think that guarantees there's gonna be an item on the boss then. Oh, you bastard. Okay. I'm not really worried about health. Oh, God. It's always the freaking thieves. We can skip these guys entirely. Oh, I was powerless to stop it. You know, I kind of want that. Not what I wanted to do, but it actually worked out better than my original plan. Okay, so let's not be bad about this time. Yeah. Time to bully the moth. Got him. Not what I... Okay, we're still missing something. I don't think Shop Sandy is on. It could be, but I don't think it is. Okay, so we did check the lumberjack shop. We know there's nothing there. Wait a minute. Bumper Cave had a big key. And there's only one big key left. Plus, there's the first chest in Aghanim's Tower. That is completely accessible. Without, like, anything except lantern. Oh, God. Okay, as one more caution, we're gonna check the shop that's just south of here in addition to this. Even though I don't think it's gonna amount to anything. Yeah, this is becoming an Oops All Dungeons run, it seems. And at this point, there's not really any incentive for us to actually do... God damn it. There isn't really any incentive for us to do Desert Palace, given that we've already taken Skull Woods out of logic. Well, not out of logic, but out of the route. But at this point, yeah, Flute or Ice Rod are equally viable, or equally desired. Just as long as it gets us into go mode. Okay, so we need to go back to Ice Palace, probably. Get the mirror ready. Yeah, there's no shop sanity. Then we can save it quick, go back to Link's house, go back to Ice Palace. A little bit extra health. This time we have a fast way to get through here, at least, which is nice. Oh, right, that just does regular damage to those guys. Yeah, I don't care about the switch stakes. I don't need the switches. Come on. Game? There we go. We've gotten that second set first try every time tonight, which is kind of nice. How? How did you body me twice? I demand a recount. You son of a bitch. So, what else? We can't get Pyramid because we don't have the other red crystal. God damn it, we do have the other red crystal. What was the last dungeon we beat? Other than, I guess it was Thieves Town. That would have had the other red crystal. Okay, so go to Link's house. That's the right place to go because we don't have Flute. Okay, so Pyramid Fairy is the answer, at which point we will get our Bacon Sword. So we at least have that as a consolation prize. Yeah, because it's guaranteed to be there because it's vanilla swords. Then it's a matter of whether or not we find Ice Rod or Flute along with it. So I don't see how we don't find either of those at this point. That's not what I wanted. Okay, this... we'll just do it. I haven't done this for a bit, so hopefully this doesn't screw me over. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. Beautiful. What happened to my bomb? I had my bomb. What happened to my bomb? Friggin' hell. No, I wonder if it has something to do with the enemy or the Randomizer and like somehow the bomb being deleted because of too many sprites on the screen. I don't know. Yeah. Yep. Game, what the hell are you doing? That is not go mode. It also occurs to me, we never checked Agina's cave. We've had access to since the very first second of this run. He could very well have Flute. We could have had Flute for the past 2 hours. Or in a slightly less worst case scenario, he could have had Ice Rod. We could have beaten Turtle Rock like half an hour ago. There's a lot of things we could have done. Assuming he has progression. Okay, good. That would have been the biggest slap in the face if we could have had go mode like half an hour ago if we had just done this one check. But thankfully that was not the case. Instead, it is still oops all dungeons. But the problem is that there's also, well, okay, I mean, at least we had the benefit of having 2 different go mode items that we're looking for. We're not looking for just one. So even if Agnes Tower did have one of the progressive items, we'll probably find the other one. I can't even guarantee that. Because if Agnes Tower has the progressive item, the other one could be locked behind GT. Which we would only be able to get to once we have go mode. At which point, it'd be moot. We have another bottle. There's gonna be a key of some flavor up here. This dungeon is not logically clearable. The small key and big key are technically locking themselves out. But I say heck that. I'm gonna be stubborn. I'm gonna beat this dungeon even if the game doesn't want me to. You tell me I can't do something, I'm gonna damn well do it. Well, I just realized I kind of wasted what I was trying to get there. Okay, so I need to get the next small key and not spend it. I need to mirror after I pick this up. Now I can bring this to the front of Desert Palace. And this should lead me to either to one of the other keys. Unless there's a tiny chance where big key is locked behind, or locked in like big chest, and the small key is locked behind the boss, or vice versa. That is technically possible with the logic that I usually have set up. Ow. Money. God damn it. I'm done. I've had the big key the entire time. Although... what? Oh, right, I didn't pick up the one that was in here. Yeah, because that's just a map. So, this is going to have the small key. Okay, so yeah, this dungeon is in fact logically beatable. I was confused as to where the keys were because I forgot big keys were shuffled. But it is still possible that we get our go mode from Landmouse. Although I'm definitely starting to think that that all of our problems are going to be solved just by going to Aghanim's Tower. And then watch, Aghanim's Tower first chest will be a vanilla Aghanim's Tower small key. Oh wait, actually no. Aghanim's Tower will have the vanilla chest period because they're nothing but small keys. So that would not be the answer. So it has to be back here. Can't think of any other chests. Wait, tablets. I can do the tablets. So if it's not desert, we start checking tablets. Ah, damn it. Just trying to fire left there. Okay, is this progression? Honestly, this is actually the better progression, technically. Because then we at least spawn right in front of Ganon's tower after the fact. Yeah, at this point I'm guessing Flute is in Ganon's tower. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. So now we're in go mode. After one pain in the ass seed. I didn't need to do it that way, but oh well. Why am I going this way? I need to do Turtle Rock first. At least we know there's nothing left to check here chest-wise, so we can just completely just go mode through everything. Damn it. Oh my god, please. Well, those folks are having a good time. Oh, fairy. ASMR. Okay, ASMR done. I shouldn't need the full magic, but I'll grab it anyway. Oh, you spawned early. Got him. The map of this dungeon dropped by the boss. Why? It could have been literally anywhere else, even within this dungeon. It shows the most useless spot to be. Good job. The most usefulness of usefulness. Don't try to count the nesses in there. It'll just make your brain go. This seat sucked. That's all I'm gonna say. I had to enter multiple dungeons multiple times. I had to do every pendant dungeon, including the last pendant, Desert Palace. I had to full clear plus boss to get go mode. This has been memorable in all the wrong ways. Also, welcome on in. I hope your night is doing well. Or going well, I should technically say. Because, you know, grammar. I cannot wait to find Flute in Ganon's Tower. Oh my god, please stop taking my magic. I need that. Oh, I thought I still had my sword beams for some reason. Oh god. Ah. Okay, if I leaned into that one, I would have been safe. Yes, experience. That is the term that we shall use for this discussion. That is the most apt word to be the descriptor. Oh my god, and there's been so many of these thieves too, and I can't kill them. They make me go, ah. And not the way I say, ah, to people like Lizurls. Well, that's, you know, the good kind of ah. This is the bad kind of ah. I don't even have boomerangs. I have to do this the slow way. At least having Randomizer in Ganon's Tower tends to make the dungeon like 50 times easier. So it's actually kind of more chill going through here right now. Well, I'll take that as a benefit. Mirror shield. I've had the big key the entire time. I didn't need to do any of that. Oh god, oh god. Oh god. Okay, I don't know how any of that worked, but I did back. Oh my god. Help. Okay, how do I don't even know what how, okay. I don't know how I did any of what I just did, but it was kind of cool. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of like little micro movements that are definitely helpful for like just general gameplay as well. It's kind of hard to just like, well, yeah, a lot of it just like little minute stuff. I think probably one of the biggest things that would be good in like general stuff is like the last platform room in Turtle Rock. As long as you just know like a couple kind of basic button combinations, you're pretty good to go. Like on the first platform, you go down the first path. Actually, I think you just hold down period when you go for the first one, and you just automatically get to the switch. Wait, I'm distracting myself. Yeah, so yeah, let me reset. So in the dark room in Turtle Rock, where you're trying to go through all the platforms, you start off on the platform you just hold down until you get to the first platform. You hit the switch, you go up twice. No, you go right twice, sorry. And then you just go down. Wait. Okay, do not ask me to say things, for I do not know words. For I barely understand my actions in my own head. That was kind of cool. I wish I could say I did that intentionally. And of course, there's the freaking red one here. Come on. Yeah, please forgive me for being a bit on like the flustered side right now. Get back. Okay, this is where Randomizer actually kind of sucks. This room is actually worse. Okay, that takes care of you. Then, nope. Get back here. I'm not done with you yet. Myself some powder. Okay. I am so lucky I didn't mirror myself out of there. Holy crap, quick kill worked. Okay. Yeah, a decent chunk of it also just comes from like just knowing where you need to go. And usually once you got that kind of narrowed down, it's relatively, well, usually simple to just figure out, okay, I just go this way and I get to my goal. So it's one of those things that just like, give yourself more time and more experience and things. You'll just kind of get it down eventually. Now, when you do like some of the tricks, those will take actual like intentional practice and stuff like that to do, but damn it. But yeah, as far as like general routing, usually if you just know where you are and where you need to go, that's all you really need. Like this room in particular, I know there's a quick route for this room. I know how it works. I can't understand how it works. I can never actually replicate it myself, no matter how I try, and no matter how many times I see it. No, I don't think there's anything here I would even want, but we'll open chest anyway. I'm doing vanilla movements because I'm just used to that as like muscle memory at this point. Like normally I do that dash there so I can get to the door and through the spikes without having to actually take any damage from them. But I didn't need to because there were no spikes that time. There. Okay. Come on, flute. We have the sad. This is now an official Link to the Past randomizer run. Friggin'. There. Okay. Alright, come on, Ganon. I dare you to throw your balls at me. That's a pattern right there. Okay, I got one at least. I'll take that. I can maybe make this work. Oh, okay. I got bopped by the other one. This might be workable. Okay, I got two. Okay, here's a decent pattern. Okay. At least the pattern started incrementally getting better. That's a very purple bat. Even more purple than he usually is. That is not a bat at all. It's Flying Cape Man. A man whose body is in the shape of a cape. I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate. What does that make us, you ask? Absolutely nothing, which is what you will be in a moment. And no, Ganon will not be good once I'm done with him. He will be, as the kids today say, wrecked. think that might have actually one-cycled him. Yes, it did. Sweet. Not very often I can one-cycle that with Bacon Sword. Okay, get my torch glitch ready. Ganon? Ganon? Dude? Dude, chill. Thank you. You need to lower your stress levels. It's not healthy for you to be that angry all the time. Oh, why? It was going so beautifully. He fired at just the wrong time. Okay, now I'm even more angry. See. Give myself some of that energy drink speed. The Monster Jolt Rockstar. Oh, I didn't even get the spin slash there. That was kind of sad. Okay, same setup as before at least. That was next phase? Game. Why do you hate me? Feel my wrath! Ah! I might be dead. I thought I had a potion left. Rip. Oh my god, I'm not dead. Help me, Bee. Be the Bee of Destiny. The Desta-Bee. Give me a +1 to hit in my attack and damage rolls. Be the best bee that you can be. Okay, now I gotta try to get the torch glitch again. Okay, bait your shot. Okay. I am not taking the chance of getting blown back into the pit. I am taking this cautious. Oh. Ah! Why did I try that? Why? Well, 37 times the charm, right? Okay, there I go. Ow. Oh, I got lucky with that one. I don't think I can actually get the invulnerability spot there. Oh god. Okay. Oh my god, that worked. Okay. Got him. Oh my god. Time. Holy Jeebus. I think the last 10 minutes just took off like 5 years of my life. I mean, I've seen Roller Coasters and Roller Coaster Tycoon more stable than that. Okay, so, where is that friggin' flute? That is my one question on the scene. I'm guessing it was in Ganon's Tower, somewhere we didn't check. Yep, it was in right side Ganon's Tower. Wait, no, Big Key Room. No, that was at the boss. The Frozen Armos fight. Yeah. That sounds about frickin' right. Okay, where are the boomerangs? I didn't find either of them. So, not that. Okay, Meyer Shed had the red boomerang. And Bomble's tablet had the blue boomerang. Okay. So yeah, neither one we were really gonna get to like anytime soon. Yeah, this scene is one of the few times where I actually was willing to pay, like, willing to pay 500 rupees for a heart container. Because it was, you know, very start, we had, like, the friggin', like, Arnold Schwarzenegger bomb-throwing guys in a lot of the starting areas. I'm like, yeah, I'm taking health. Fungus for Rage Rod. Yeah, that was where we had our Fire Rod. And I had Mushroom, I think, at, like, 10, 15 minutes into the seed. I didn't get Fire Rod until an hour 10. I'm gonna check. I'm curious now. Rage Rod Band. Okay, so there is no band called Rage Rod. Or at least not yet. I mean, I could technically be a drummer. I mean, like a not very skilled drummer, but I could kind of do it. I can kind of keep a rhythm. Knuckles, do you want to play the kazoo in my band Rage Rod? That's what we need to really make the band pop. Okay, so is there anything else I need to... Okay, I do want to see at least the basic stats. I want to see my collection rate, too, because I'm going to have, like, 1 billion items collected. Because I essentially, like, full cleared every dungeon I entered. Come on. Even at 4 times speed, it's not fast enough. Alright, randomizer credits. All the peepers who are cool. I still love the name Math on Napkins. I think that's just like my favorite random user name on this list. Okay, so we got our first sword not too late in the season. That's when we first got the clue as vanilla swords. Boots could have been better, could have been worse. Stupid flute. Mirror was decent. GT Big Key. Yeah, we found that like fairly early on. I think it was like I think we found that in Kakariko even. 18 save and quits. Good lord. That's what happens when you don't get flute. All right, what's our collection rate? 179. That's actually higher than I was expecting at that point. Yeah, 179 out of 216 checks complete. Good freaking lord. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bit of BRB. Although it's usually later than I would start this kind of run, I'm able to actually stay up a little bit later with the way my new job hours are, so I'll go ahead and do a Super Metroid Seed after this. But in the meantime, I need to take a quick little bio break. So I shall return momentarily. And until then, I leave you with the burb screen of Destiny. BRB. Alright. The returning has initiated. So let's go to the website. Randomizer. Randomize and customize. I should have the basic stuff off, yeah. Or the advanced stuff off, I should say. Check for new sprites. Do they still have the hitbox? Okay, they do still have the hitbox sprite. I think I actually might go for that for a little bit of a change. So if everything else set as normal, put that into SM seeds. Take out these other two that I don't need anymore. Let's get the tracker change first. Change the scene. And of course the tracker always opens up all wonky. Right about there. And so tracker should still be searching. Okay, now it's searching for the connector. Need to actually put the game in there. Then tools, Lua. Okay, it's still automatically connected. Alright. Then we'll swap the game category to Metroid of the Super. Oh, okay, there we go. Click that. I'll just do a little basic thing right there. because I'm not feeling creative in the slightest at the moment. Alright. So, scoop myself into position. I also need to update the timer. So save that split. I don't know if that was even the right split, honestly. Oh well. Super Metroid. Let's do it. And where's my start? And oh wait. Make sure settings. Make sure the controls are good. Controls are good. Turn on Moonwalk, aka Moonfall, and a begin. So yeah, the good thing about at least this particular sprite is that you can actually see literally where the hitbox is for Samus herself. So you can see what would hit her, what the range for basically everything would be, and it also shows you where your shots will begin with that little pink box here by your gun. So if you want to figure out just, you know, where you can be safe when moving to places, you can use this as your guide. No, it's called borrowing. Never mind the massive quotation marks in that term. But yeah, one of the other things you can also learn from the hitbox here is that when you see Samus spinning like this, you notice her hitbox kind of shortens up. And if you do certain motions, you can actually use the shortened hitbox to be able to make leaps or make landings you wouldn't be able to reach. Let's see if I can use this as an example. Yeah, because another thing as well is that when you duck first and then jump, you actually get a little bit more height than you would otherwise. And if you press down just before getting to a ledge, you can actually just kind of do what's called a ledge grab and get up onto there without having to do any kind of like fancy technology otherwise. Yeah, because normal jumping, you only get up to like here. Not even close. Do a regular crouch jump, you get a little bit higher, but not quite. Crouch jump, and then down and right, when you get to the top, you can reach up here, no problem. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of like little bits of tech on here that you can use to your advantage. No morph ball yet, so I gotta go this way. Oh. Yay, morph ball. Okay, Ice Beam is nice, but it's actually not the first thing I want to see down here. We do have more, so we can go down here at least. Hopefully we have power bombs, so I can get to the Billy Mays. Yeah, power bombs. Yeah, there's only like really a handful of spots where at least the ledge grab is like super useful, but it's a good just kind of general technology to be able to have. Especially when you're just trying to mainly go fast, that's where most of the benefit lies. Well, that wasn't too early. Okay, good. Ooh, okay. Now we're talking. Oh my god. Okay, this is kind of insane. Okay, so we got wave, ice, and space jump. All in the first 3 minutes. I'm guessing I got one of the fast logic seeds at this point. Ooh, that was actually a nice landing. Should probably take the power bombs off for now so I don't accidentally use them. But yeah, the whole crouch jumping and the ledge grabbing thing, that's also useful if you're doing like any kind of like water traversal and you're having trouble getting to like just off of the ledge. Like for example, when you go down to just below where Spazer is, if you get caught in the water under there, especially if you get grabbed by that little like pincer grabby thing, you probably have to use a little bit of that technique to make sure you can get out more easily. That's one thing to keep in mind. Come on. Then, of course, the downside to having ice is that these guys now take 2 shots to take out instead of just 1. So it actually kind of slows us down a little bit here. Okay, we're getting a lot of power bombs. It has yet to be seen if this is actually a good thing or not. Which well, I guess we don't necessarily have to have any kind of progression over at Bon Torizo yet. Oh wait, no, I can't get in here because I don't even have any missiles. Okay, so we can do... Oh, that was not high enough, okay. We'll just make use of space jump, okay. But I do want to go through... Gauntlet. I don't know why it took me that long to think of its name. Yeah, we should have plenty of power bombs for this. Yeah, just kind of slide under that first block. Go over this way. Yeah, first section only requires 3 power bombs. Going down here. You can do this room quickly by just placing a power bomb immediately when you enter, picking up the item, and then just running under here real quick. Oh, trust me, I plan on replacing those bad memories with good memories. With memories of a seed that actually, like, does friendly things, like gives you wave and ice and space jump within the first 3 minutes. And then maybe plasma, like, a few minutes later. Wink, wink game. That's a lot of power bombs. I have concerns. Yay, less concerns. Come on. It's weird trying to get used to, like, not having missiles and going through all your ammo assignments. No, so yeah, you notice I'm like raising and lowering my gun every basically step I possibly can. That's a trick called arm pumping, which every time you do the arm pump motion, like each individual time, it actually pushes Samus forward 1 more frame than she would move otherwise. Apparently, one thing I've just learned recently is that you can actually do what's just called half pumping, in which you basically just move, I think either the... Okay, what did I just say about plasma? But yeah, you can basically just move the... Like, either doing the aim up or aim down and just do that alone. And apparently that still gives you the full benefit of the arm pumping. Okay, this has got to be like the speedrun level logic. This is just insane. So all we need now is gravity suits. Ideally charge beam, although it doesn't necessarily have to be charge beam. Yeah, suits, charge beam. Okay, we can't get through here. Grapple is nice, but not necessarily required, especially when we already have space jump. I'm gonna try my best to avoid. Never mind. Oh, I can just freeze them. That works. You are not worthy of my ammunition. Okay, I'm gonna bet we find one of the suits in this check right here. That's how pog I think the seed is gonna be. No, just reserved. Never mind. Can't be too OP, I guess. Now, one thing that does suck about having a speed booster and not high jump is that our jump heights are gonna be kind of minimized when we're doing a full-on run. Come on. Aw, I didn't get to squish it. Okay, thankfully I do have plasma, so I can save my super for the actual check down here. Oh, right, I don't have charge. That's fine. I can still just, like, murder these things. I need to be careful so I don't actually waste my shot. There we go. I have a disturbing amount of power bombs. Okay, there's some more supers. That's good, because I actually need those to do the next couple of rooms up here. And I can actually go here further to get the check down here. And yeah, you can actually just use a platform up there to build up a charge, or build up a shine spark, even if you don't have gravity suit. You don't even need to do any short charge or anything, you actually have just enough space to do it standard. Come on, there. Spin. Okay, I was hoping there would be a super drop from that guy, but oh well. Okay, so... and up about here. There we go. Yeah, if you get like just the right positioning with that super missile, you can actually open up the door entirely on the other side and completely bypass the power bomb block. Or just a regular bomb block, I guess, but still. Yay, more supers. I legit needed those. Well, we'll see if we can get more refilled here. Okay, there's a couple. Oh, I actually got the shine spark set up. I wasn't even trying to. And then this part's a little bit harder when you don't have high jump boots to set it up with, but if you do... first try. Yeah, if you get the right angle and the right momentum, you can actually do a gate, what's called a gate glitch, to get that door open with the super missile shot. Oh, I got bodied. Oh, I screwed that up. Hey, supers. Okay, so given the items that we currently have... how do I want to route this? I think I want to do wrecked ship first. Because we have everything we need to take care of him without really too much worry about our health, really. Oh no, I need charge for... okay. I thought I might be able to do the microwaving, but unfortunately I need charge to be able to do that. We do have a few more items we can get before then and hope that we get charge. But it's far from guaranteed. Come on. Ow. Come on. Oh my god, please. Thank you. More supers, we'll take those. Screw attack! That actually makes the Phantoon fight safer, because we can use screw attack to get through any of the, like, the bad phases if we happen to get those. Gravity! Okay. Phantoon is now a pushover. He can't do Bo Diddley to us. Yeah, because that gives us literally 75% damage reduction. Too early. We'll take those supers. Actually, this fight is gonna kinda suck. Because we're not gonna be able to do any proper Dopplers. We don't have enough missiles for those. Okay, suddenly Spring Ball. Oh, I didn't get the Mock Ball. Damn. Okay, we have one more chance of getting something really cool before getting to Ridley. Or, Phantoon. Why did I call him Ridley? My brain. My brain does things. Things that even it doesn't know what it's doing. This might be the first time I've ever done Phantoon with literally one missile pack. Because the problem with not using regular missiles, like the problem with actually trying to use super missiles, is that each time you hit Phantoon with a super missile, yeah, it does a bunch of damage. But it makes him go into a 20+ second cycle where he does like what's normally a super strong attack that usually just like bodies you because it's almost impossible to avoid entirely. And he's invulnerable for the entire duration of it. Yeah, because normally, when I so the trick in like getting a lot of damage on him is called Doppler, which when he comes back around like toward me this way, you can actually unload the super missiles within if you unload them within a certain like frame rate. So like I think if you hit him with another missile within 3 seconds of firing your first missile, or hitting your first missile, you can actually chain them together instead of him just dashing away immediately. And that's usually what you're trying to do in this section. Trying to get as many shots in per cycle as you can. Yeah, we'll just do that. So it should be, I think, 14 hits so far. So Phantoon has 2,500 health. Each missile does 100. Super missiles do 600 because he's weak to super missiles. So ideally you want to load him with... Okay, yeah, so you want to load him with 19 missiles and then finish him off with a super missile. That's the ideal way to do it for like ammo conservation and speed-wise. Yeah, otherwise, I think it's 5 super missiles work. But again, you get like a lot of basically time loss and annoying attacks you have to deal with. But yeah, that was definitely an experience having to, you know, not have missiles for the Doppler. At least I know mostly how to deal with them otherwise, which definitely helped. And thank you for the GG. Alright. Zoom over this way. Okay, we'll take supers. In lieu of charge, we will gladly take supers. That and Ridley is usually better to fight with supers than like anything else, in my opinion. Okay. Normally I would do a little save split here so that if there's nothing here I can just reset. But we have enough movement items right now where it doesn't really make that big a difference time-wise, so we'll just go and just get it. If it's nothing, then it's nothing. We lose a handful of seconds. And it's nothing. But Aaron, you might say, your regular missile ammo capacity just increased by 100%. Yeah. Oh, I actually went through that thing. That's interesting. This game is weird sometimes. Oh, I did not want to do that kind of jump. Ah, damn. Okay, so try this again. I always miss one when I try to do that strat. It's annoying because if you get that like perfectly right, it makes the room so much faster. But if you miss the one enemy, it makes it just that much slower too. There's always one that just doesn't want to... I didn't lose my momentum. Come on. And... I mean, just in the off chance we happen to get go mode with, like, the better items and we never find charge, it's usually a better idea to try to get ammo on the way. Okay, so we can get that check down there just fine because we have speed boosters, so we're not going to worry about that. That was actually unfortunate. Oh my god, Varia. Okay. We have all suits. I shouldn't skip that. Yeah, because give me enough ammo, I'll probably just go mode without charge. Especially because with the settings I use, it completely skips the fanfare, so it cuts down the item pickup time by like 6.5 seconds. And no, that is not an exaggeration. The item pickup fanfare lasts a full 7 seconds. So imagine in a 100% speedrun, where you collect all 100 items. Multiply that 100 by 7 seconds. More than 11 minutes of the 100% speedrun for this game is just item fanfare. And there's nothing you can do to skip it or shorten it. That's why I like the quick pickup. Oh, I didn't have the right thing equipped, that's why. Oh. Come on. I'm trying to be too swag. Go! Okay, more E-tanks. I mean, it gets us our stand-up for sure. More power bombs. Come on. Oh my god. Please. There's a way you can do the moonfall there without like breaking the spin like mid jump that I have not figured out how to do. You can make that section like super fast, but I just can't figure it out for some reason. We'll take that. It's not progression, but it's very nice convenience. And I am not so proud that I will not take convenience when offered. Especially when we've already spent the time to actually get to the check. That was not what I was supposed to have equipped game. Also, if you have screw attack, do not screw attack through the store, because this block down here will actually be broken by screw attack. Which really sucks if you don't have gravity suit. Because then that's when the little like extra ledge grabbing and the duck jumping comes into play. And as an example, squish. Yeah, it's one of the little subtle trolls that the developers put in this game. If you want to be just too fast. Ah, damn. Well, it's a good thing I got a billion of those. Ah, damn it. No, I don't even need to kill any of these things. Come on. One of the annoying things is that if the block is not entirely on the screen, it actually won't show you what's behind it. So you actually have to make sure you're all the way there before you start doing that. I don't know if that's an intended mechanic or just a glitch, but it's annoying. Yeah, in order to do the quick kill on this boss, when his hand goes down and just is about to starts to come back up, you want to shoot him in the face with some kind of beam. Then you want to kind of get some double shots with your supers like this. Yeah, if I could have slowed that down, I probably would have been able to give like a better explanation for it. But yeah, if you're able to get the timing just right, you can completely annihilate Kraid before he even gets a chance to stand up. Yeah, it saves a lot of time and saves a lot of hassle. Oh, I did that the wrong time. That is one of the drawbacks, like I mentioned earlier, to Ice Beam, is that it takes an extra hit to actually kill enemies, and because they become platforms, they'll actually stop your movement entirely if you're not careful. Actually, could have mockballed into that, I think. Make sure you open that door first before come back out, because otherwise you have to kill that little thing again. It can be slow if you miss it. Let's find out if this is gonna be anything useful or not. Nope. Yeah, if that was charge me, I would have gladly gone for it, but otherwise, eh. In fact, basically right now, charge would just be our go mode. Because we have more than enough of everything else to be able to complete the game. With finesse, flair, and style. No. Regular missiles are just not worth it. Get in there. Oh, I didn't want to get that. Yeah, if you have plasma and you find Spazer, act like you didn't find Spazer. Spazer is a 1000% downgrade from plasma. You probably already knew that, but you know, just in case. Yeah, the main thing to know about Kraid is that each missile will knock him back 1 step. Each missile knocks him back 3 steps. So if you can get up that little 1-2 punch like that, you can make him go back 4 steps each time. How did that not open the door? Game, please. I'll take supers. Ah, too early. Oh, if it weren't for that stalactite, that would have been amazing movement. Stupid geology. Why did I do Ice Beam when I knew that was going to be the result? I would just screw myself over. My urge to destroy is far too strong. Don't need that. I'm actually amazed that jump managed to get in there. Yeah, I'm kind of going through more checks than I really need to at this point, but I kind of just want to have a run where I just get like super OP and pick up like everything. I haven't really had a good one of those in a while. Just power bombs there, I can gladly forget about those. Oh, there we go. That should be good. Yeah, it technically only takes like 20 super missiles to actually take out Gold Chorizo, but because of the fact that he catches like about at least a third of them, you want to come in with at least 30 to make sure you don't soft lock. Because that is basically the only way he takes damage, is either that or charge beam and some combination of beams. If you don't have charge, you better have enough supers. And I do want to farm supers in here because I want to be able to use them to take out Ridley. This is a great room to farm supers because these guys are guaranteed to drop supers. There we go. That'll be enough. Oh, actually got it. Okay. I didn't think that was enough. And also these guys, if you shoot them with something like Plasma or Spacer just before you run into them, you actually activate enough iframes that they basically just don't do anything to you for like a couple of frames. It only works with the Plasma, well, Plasma for sure. I think it works with Spacer, but I'm not 100% sure on those guys. But at least Plasma. And yeah, if you hit the spikes there and then just immediately do a tiny jump and then duck down, you can actually kind of like iframe through that first little spike platform. Saves a few seconds. And it's also just generally cool looking. We should technically be good, but I've had cases where it just really just doesn't go right, and I would kind of like to have more missiles, or more supers instead of this. Come on. These guys are supposed to be dropping supers. I'll wait until I get like 45, if I can be sure. You only specifically need 30 to destroy Ridley. God damn, I gotta miss a line now. Okay, now they should be aligned again. But yeah, when you're in Lower Norfolk, this is the best farming spot you can get. Yeah, because these guys do have a chance of dropping basically everything. Although the super missiles and power bombs are only like chances of dropping. They're not like health or missiles where like at a minimum they'll drop those. It's just there's always just a chance for these. I don't know what the chances are for super missiles to drop, but I believe power bombs are just like a 4% chance. So, not particularly likely. Okay, that should be plenty. Then I'll show you the technique I use if Ridley starts to pogo going rightward and you have a lot of health. Just kind of dip down to the lava and fire straight up. Ridley can't get you, you can get quite a bit of super missiles out on him in the meantime. Ow. Oh, that was like a single pogo. Okay, I think he's dead. Yeah, once he gets to this proper death phase and he grabs you like that, that's actually a faster way to take him out. Because it saves ammo, and it saves him just kind of waiting like 15 to 20 seconds to realize, oh wait, my hit points are at 0, I should be exploding. You can use that to kind of force it. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Yeah, these guys for sure, you can use Phaser or Plasma when you fire just before hitting them, and the iframes will just let you run right through. Okay, there's a way you can do a short charge. You can do a short charge into a Mach Ball with the speed booster to get through this section like lickety split, but I have never been able to get the tiny jump into the Mach Ball. That is not a talent I've been able to develop. Perhaps one day. I just want to know where the hell is Charge? We got like everything else great under the sun, just not Charge. We really don't need bombs, especially when we already have like 60 power bombs capacity and Spring Ball. Yeah, we're just gonna leave that. More supers. I probably should grab those, but eh. Yeah, we'll take those. Yeah, we're still gonna be checking everything in Upper Norfair, so there's still gonna be a bunch of items we can get. And ideally, Charge. But as soon as I find Charge, I'm not checking anything else. That'd be more than enough of everything. Here. More health. More power bombs. Not the way I intended to do that, but it kind of worked. I swear the not intended strats end up being the best strats for whatever reason. Come on, give me my charge. Check Cathedral. There's power bombs. So that is everything in Norfair. Yeah, so that particular Shine Spark I did there, if you fire a shot, wait like a quarter to half a second, and then Shine Spark upward, you can get up there without having to do any kind of like precise jumping or anything like that. Plus, it looks faster and it looks cooler. And as we all know, coolness is the most important part of any kind of speed movement. Supers. Supers. Okay, don't need either of those. Well, I guess we will need some current supers soon. Unless we find charge. Okay, there's some current supers. Squish. Also, general movement tip. When you're underwater and have space jump, you can basically space jump like a lot more often and a lot more quickly than you can when you're not in water. You can almost basically button mash. You just like almost constantly gain height. There is still a rhythm to do if you want to get like most efficient kind of space jumping, but yeah, you can do a lot more of it a lot more quickly underwater. Charge! That's our go mode. We don't care about anything else at this point. Because now we can also microwave, which will be useful against both the mini-boss and the main boss of this area. Oh, I do not want to go right. I want to go left. Oh, damn it. I used to be good at that movement, but I haven't been able to get it for a while now. Okay, so how you do microwave is you need charge, plasma, and X-ray. Get rid of charge shot ready, then fire it, then as soon as you start making contact with the enemy, just kind of alternate, well, just kind of quickly turn off and on X-ray. Because the way plasma works is that it does damage every frame. However, the enemies have iframes. You get around this by utilizing the fact that iframes still expire while X-ray is running. So you just basically intermittently activate X-ray to kind of go through the enemy's iframes, and that way each actual frame of action that occurs, they take the damage from a charged plasma shot, which does a lot of damage, by the way. You can use that both on Batoon right there, and on Dragon up ahead. And there's a particular timing I like to do on the Dragon fight, is that when it gets to the third part of this, so this is the second bar right here, or no, so second bar. And so when it starts doing like the increasing intensity, at the end of the third section, 1, 2, 2, 3, release, and then do this. And then once Samus stands up, that is your sign that Dragon is dead. You can let go, and down she goes. Easy as pie. And now, we go destroy a planet. Yeah, if you're in go mode going from Dragon's area, you just come right back this way, and then come up the center path. And then this will take you basically right to the top of Red Tower. Also, this room is called the toilet. Just think about its shape for a second, and you'll know why. If you get really good movement there, you can actually like mock ball into a spring jump out of that hole and get directly onto the teleportation pad. I got it once, and it is amazing. Just the way it looks and feels is just... Mwah. Bounty Hunter Bowser Aaron. I think it's technically Aran is how you say her last name, but I've always just pronounced it like Aaron. Ah, I didn't jump in time. Yeah, that was a little too early. Yeah, if you get like the right timing there, you can just like jump through the door transition and just like speed fall right into the bottom of the pit there. So I haven't gotten it quite consistent yet myself, but it's always nice to be able to get it. Crap. So, if you ever get grabbed by the Metroids and you don't have regular bombs to shake them off, 3 power bombs will kill all the Metroids that they touch. You basically need 5 ticks of damage, and each one can do 2 ticks if you're close enough. And at this stage, you're usually better off just kind of damaging down to make the, Actually, you want to keep Screw Attack on, because you can use that to actually reset your own iframes, so you can get hit again faster. But I neglected to do that. Yeah, because especially if you come in here at like full health, it's going to take a lot of time to drain down, so that can help make things just go a little faster. Nope, I screwed that up entirely, okay. Yeah, I saw somebody do a different setup for that by starting back there, and I wanted to try that out. It didn't feel right at all. I'm also not sure what the +2 means there on the hitbox. Unless it means like a certain special status that Samus is in for whatever reason. But yeah, I have no idea. And if you menu and if you start menuing and you grab onto the the recharge station just before it gets to the actual menu, you can actually move before the text box comes up. Save yourself like a little bit of time. Although it only saves time if you're opening up the menu anyway. If you're just opening up the menu, just open up the menu, it actually loses time overall. But yeah, there you want to... If you have certain moves, you want to actually turn screw attack off for this section. I'm going to go through this a little too quickly to be able to explain, but with the right movement... So basically, you freeze that, what's called a rinka, the little onion ring there. You freeze the rinka, you duck, you get bopped by the other rinka, spin jump, and then you can get right through the little barrier there. And use that to get through all 4 levels of these. So you can just waltz right on through. Saves you ammunition and time. Then you just bully Mother Brain. And then your quickest way to beat Mother Brain in the first phase is with a full beam combo. It'll take 20 charge shots to knock her into the next phase. Come on. Alright, if you want to do a stand-up glitch, when she starts getting ready for a big beam attack, you want to get yourself down to 7 E-tanks and a little bit change. You want to start matching up as soon as she finishes up this part, so you stand back up quickly. Damage yourself down to just above 1 E-tank. Wait for her to attack. Damage down to less than 1 E-tank. And then just keep yourself off the ground. If you do that, you actually avoid the section where it locks your movement, and you can move around and just kind of do whatever you want freely. We can use this to actually start dealing damage to her final phase before she starts moving. And hell, before the Metroid even attaches, you can start. So basically, once she turns fully gray, that's when you start doing damage and it'll actually affect the next phase. Now, this is only beneficial if you have, like, plasma and charge, because otherwise you're not really going to gain enough time to make it beneficial. So, now is when she's vulnerable. And you have to be in the air again as the baby is basically like just at the very top of the ceiling above Mother Brain's head, because then the game will try to again force you into a kneeling phase. As long as you avoid both of those, you can just charge and destroy Mother Brain freely. Now, if you do happen to get caught up in either of the sit-down phases and you have X-Ray, you can just activate X-Ray and you'll be back to free movement, like it was nothing. Now, it is kind of hard to be able to get consistent charge shots off, because the lag does get rid of some of like the frames you would need to actually be able to get the beam. But yeah, this is a good way to really cut down the time on the final cycle. And also, you want to be careful. You don't want to be charging a beam and firing within like a second of her entering the actual phase here, because for whatever reason the game can kind of like start overloading with sprites and effects and stuff like that, and the game can lock up for anywhere between like 5 seconds or forever. People have literally been fully soft locked because of just the way the timing of that worked out. But as long as you know what you're doing, what the risks are, what the times are, you can pretty reliably be able to use this as a trick to get that fight down a lot faster. Okay, at least I got the first spin jump. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I got one of the jumps that was actually good. That's progress. Also, I like how I still have super missiles left, because we just picked up so many of them. And also, if you duck here and do an angled speed booster, you actually spawn above the block there instead of below it. I don't know if it's necessarily faster, but it just kind of looks cooler. Aminos. Oh, I could have made that if I had paid better attention. Oh, just under an hour. Nice. Nice. And I think that was with me picking up a lot of extra stuff I didn't actually need to pick up either. Yeah, I think that's basically like the second most ideal route you can get through a randomizer. The most ideal would be you go around through the opening Brinstar like usual. When you get to Red Tower, you would be able to go down, go to Lower Norfair basically immediately. Like you find Gravity and Varia super early on. You get like Charge and Plasma and a whole bunch of super missiles. You just have everything you need to get down there. Take care of all that. Come back up through Bubble Mountain. If you need to pick up any like last few items, you can do that there. Come back up around, work your way through Meridia, take out Dragon, move swiftly back up into Wreck Ship, take Fantoon out. Okay, 1 hour, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds. That is amusing. But yeah, the ideal route is you go through Brinstar, down, turn that into Lower Norfair, into Meridia, into Wreck Ship, and then run back. That would be basically like the most efficient route to be able to get through everything in the game, because then you only have to go through each area once. Now, it's very rare to get a seat like that, but that's one of the ideals. And I found that generally, if you're doing like just a Super Metroid rando, usually the big sticking point is whether or not you go up or down Red Tower when you get to it. Now, there are some routes where you could actually just go to Wreck Ship like right after doing like the early Mother Brain area, or Retro Mother Brain. So, you know, normally we pick up Morph Ball, stuff like that. That can be risky, but it can pay off. Especially if you can basically avoid having to do like Brinstar entirely throughout the run. That would be the actual ideal, but it's usually not very functional because then you're going through a lot of the game with like less ammunition or power than you actually need. Especially if you're going for like Fantoon first and you don't have any suits necessarily, that is a rough fight. Yeah, I feel like that should be a pretty good Turian though. Let's find out what that's at. That was worse than I was expecting. I was expecting like a 610 or 615. I mean, I guess we did have to get stopped a little bit by the Metroids had to power bomb. I guess that was probably it too, because yeah, that's a lot slower than just doing the freezing super missile. Yeah, we saw every item there. We saw bombs somewhere, but we didn't. I never picked them up because it wasn't really worth it at the time. Yeah, Lower Norfair. We were already in go mode. But yeah, that felt like a good run. Final time 1 hour, 0 minutes, 0.31 seconds. That amuses me. Yeah, alright. Alright, set myself back up. Wait for the thing. Dear Force. Alright, now that the thing has been done, let's look for ourselves a raid target. Who's doing things? Wait. Co-op? Oh, okay. Okay, so I know Sen is doing a special Pokemon thing. I don't know how far along he is in that. I think he's in the middle. Yeah, he's in the middle. Okay, so head-to-head. Okay. Okay, so I guess Sen is in the middle of... He's basically doing like a full-on... Okay, so I'll try to be quick because I don't want to waste too much time of it. He's doing basically a streamer versus streamer battle. Like, one of the in-game Pokemon Scarlet trainers is a streamer. And so he's doing basically a equal build versus equal build. So this trainer has 3 Pokemon level 23, 1 Pokemon level 24. He's doing the same setup on his side to make sure it's as fair a fight as possible. And he's currently in the middle of all of it. I think, yeah, he's right in the middle. There's been like a couple Pokemon knocked out already. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pin this here. Okay. So I'm going to start rating him. We're going to, well, okay, part of it too is I don't necessarily want to like interrupt the thing either. Oh god, now I'm actually conflicted. Oh. Oh, do I interrupt or don't I? Yeah, you know, I want to be there. I want to help give him some hype. Or he does not have the underscore in his name. Okay, so we'll set the rate up. I'm probably gonna make this relatively quick because again, I want to show out the good stuff, and he's already kind of a good chunk through it. Oh, okay, so it's basically even right now. It looks like, but so we'll rate and descend. We'll watch his Pokemon shenanigans. I'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. for more of our Final Fantasy VII remake playthrough. I forget where I'm at right now, but yeah, we'll be moving on with more of that. Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central for more Final Fantasy, and I bid you a good night and your cat meme.